Sarah, I know I saw you pop in. If you could pop on screen, I'm sorry we're running a little late because time management. Where are you? There you are. I think
I'm
you might.
here to get us back on track with
Yes,
time.
you are. I needed you about when we got off track when I realized that when I programmed Zoom to start, for some reason it's only letting 100 people in, even though I bought 500 seats. So I was looking to do that, and as I was doing that, I got a little off track. But
No
hopefully you
worries.
can stay a little past the hour. Yes, okay. I
I'm
wasn't
good.
sure.
I'm good.
Okay,
Yep.
beautiful. So thank you so much for that. So everybody, our last session today is really the let's say the cherry on the sundae of being big and bold, because we know we need to be big and bold. We learned how to be big and bold, why we should be big and bold about our careers and the industry we work for, and in the jobs and the companies that we are involved with in any manner, and how to bring women and people, create a pipeline, a big and bold pipeline, how to attract people to the printing industry, how to create a movement in West Africa for women, how to strategically grow your network and think of your career not just as a ladder, but as a lattice, or as Sandy said, with no definitions at all, and just think there's no lane that is not yours. However, none of that gets accomplished without, at this point, even finding 10 minutes in your day to dedicate to it. So I am so thrilled to introduce Sarah O'Hannison to everybody. She is a keynote speaker, a productivity consultant at So Productive, and she is a co-host with me on the Time Management Tips in 20 on podcast from the Printerverse, a very popular series there. And I know you've actually had people reach out to you to help you. You are actually helping a lot of people. So let's just start with, let everybody know a little bit about you. You have an interesting journey, and also about the work you do through So Productive, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel really close to the printing industry. My husband actually owns a print and direct mail company. So I've always been close to your industry. I have a background in marketing. We actually met because I was a client of my husband's. That's how we met. So really always been kind of closely related to your industry. And in my career in marketing across so many different industries, what I kept seeing over and over again was stress, burnout, overwhelm, busy professionals, exceptional in their careers, but kind of missing out on life's best moments because they're so busy. So about 2.5 years ago, right as the pandemic was starting, of course, I launched my productivity consulting business because I'm just severely on a mission to help you all fight burnout, to get more done so you have more time with the people that you love.
And you have certainly been helping me. I have my apps and my tools, and I have definitely gotten more productive. There's less copy and pasting, there's less typing, it's more organization. My to-do list is completely under control, although I still want the app to say congratulations when I do something great. But we've heard from amazing men and women today that have really given us all many action items for our to-do lists. But as I mentioned, more than likely everyone's like, that sounds great, but like I'm not a Yan Fei. I don't have time to create a movement, or I'm not someone else who has time to put on an event for women in print, or to come into my print shop. So that's why I wanted you to really finish up this conference as the Time Sherpa hashtag, to be the last session of today, and help us clear the clutter, so we can find some time to be big and bold. So I know you have a plan. So how do we get there?
I always have a plan. Well, I want to start with just real quick, just think about one thing that resonated most with you today, because there's probably one item that's like super standing out for you. Throw that in the chat, write in, what is that one thing that you really, really want to implement that you learned today? So throw that in the chat. I definitely want to hear those. I think it was really cool that Deborah asked me to round this out because, what I'm worried about coming out of today, don't wait, love that, Kelly, is it's like you're revved up right now in the chat. You're like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm ready to go. My notebook's color coded and I'm all excited. You're feeling really inspired. But then what happens, right? We get into this post-conference virtual session slump. And then, Monday rolls, maybe tomorrow you get a couple of things done, but Monday, like you're back to regular work, the regular way that you do things, almost as if today never happened. So that's why Deborah asked me to be here to close you out. And I'm not saying maybe one day find 15 minutes. 15 minutes was the time frame that Deborah and I talked about. Like, how can we actually help people find 15 minutes in their day, right? 15 minutes each day to be big, to be bold. I have never loved a theme of a conference more, to do all the things that we talked about today. I'm seeing so many wonderful things in the chat. How are we going to get all that stuff done, right? To take ownership about what we heard today. So I've got 3 steps to help you out. Deborah, I'll pause there. There's a lot of great stuff happening in the chat, but that's what we're here to do this afternoon.
Okay, I just told everybody about Todoist, which I can't live without. They're like, what app can help me? It's called Todoist.
Asana and or Todoist. Great
Right.
apps. Yep.
And we should share an app for Asana in the chat when we're done. So,
Yeah.
okay. So we're going to talk first about outlining a plan, correct? So you have a 3-step plan for outlining a plan. Go.
Well, I've got 3 major steps to give you today. The first one is to outline the plan, right? So you just are telling me one thing that resonated with you. Then what's the second? What's the third? Go back to those notes. Put those things in actionable order. Do that tonight. Do that tomorrow morning. But literally put them in the order that you want to do them in, right? And then just the things that are really easy to implement, knock those out. Get those done off the list really quickly first. Give yourself some quick wins coming out of today, because that momentum to accomplish those couple of things, that is insanely powerful. It's going to propel you forward. Now, there's probably some things on your list that are not quite as easy to implement, right? They're bigger, they're bolder. Maybe they're going to require some multiple steps. Maybe you need other people to help you. So for those types of things, Deborah and I have talked about this a lot. Break those things down into smaller, bite-sized pieces. I really see clients get stuck, overwhelmed. They're stuck in to-do list purgatory because these projects are too big. So instead, break those things down, smaller, actionable, bite-sized pieces. And the key is actionable, right? That you have the tools, the skill set, and the resources to do those things yourself today. So that's step 1. Have a plan, break those things down into smaller, bite-sized pieces, set them into priority order, and give them due dates. That's step 1.
That, we call it, don't eat the elephant. You can't eat the whole elephant. You have to eat it in bites, And just as a quick example, let's just say that you have a personal project and you want to write a book, and it's on your to-do list, write a book. You're probably going to stare at that for 3 years instead of saying, write an opening paragraph. Is the only thing on your to-do list. So I'm just helping emphasize, or it's on your to-do list, client calls. No. Who are you calling? What time are you calling them? Like, get very, very specific. And it really does help you to, I know you're so proud of me. I'm your best.
I am. You're my star student.
Yeah. I really am, because I had a serious time management problem. But let me tell you, I have been getting off the computer like 7, 8 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. So you're already saving me 3 hours. If you could get me off the Zoom meetings during the day, I'd appreciate that. But we'll get to that another point. Okay. Next step, find 15 minutes in your day to do something big and bold, whatever that might be. Go.
Exactly. Now, I know some of you are saying like 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes. I'm too busy. Like, where the heck did Deborah find this crazy lady? Like, you can, right? You can find 15 minutes. You just have to look, right? So I want to give you some ideas. Where do we look? Where do we find 15 minutes in the day? Scheduling meetings is actually one of them. So a lot of going back and forth happens when we're scheduling meetings. We've all been there. Wednesday at 4, oh, I can't. Thursday at 10, no, they're back, and forget it. There's scheduling softwares that can do this for you. Calendly, Doodle, Acuity scheduling, all these softwares. Send people the link, let them book that time on their calendar. That's a huge time saver right there. That'll save you 15 minutes. The other one is, let's just stick with meetings for a second. Looking at your schedule and critically analyzing, are all these meetings necessary? Are some of these meetings actually wasting time, right? And really evaluate that. Most of the meetings, we get an appointment, we're like, yep, I'll go to that meeting. We don't question it. We don't think about, do we actually need to be there? The other thing that happens is maybe you've got meetings that are happening every single week. Consider moving those to bi-weekly. The other big tip I have here is, guess what? Meetings default to an hour in length on most people's calendars. Let's challenge that. Maybe 45 minutes will do. Boom, that's 15 minutes right there. So there's a lot of like little quick time savers that you can actually find just around meetings. The other thing I want to talk about is looking for stuff. This session is about clearing out the clutter, right? Clutter and disorganization waste a ton of time. So physical clutter, digital clutter, just working in a tidier workspace gives you less room for distraction. If your digital files are really well organized, you're going to save time not looking for things. You might even not have to do work a second time because you found it, realizing, oh, I actually have done that exact thing before. So think about, physical, your drawers, your workspace, but also, is your email cluttered? Are your digital files cluttered? That's a big time saver. Deborah, do you want to talk about social media for a sec?
Go right ahead. I mean, I'm already upset because I can't even tell you how much time I spend looking for things, but go ahead, right ahead.
Well, this one might be an interesting one for you too. Let's say this is asking for a friend. We're not talking about anyone specifically when we talk about this.
I'm nervous.
Well, social media can actually be, a huge time suck. Most of us know this, but worldwide, social media is at 147 minutes a day. People, that is 2.5 hours per day on social media. Now, there's a lot of great things that happen on social media. I'm connected with people from high school and it's fun, and my family, awesome. But maybe when you're in the middle of doing something big and bold, scale social media back a little bit, right? Don't cut it completely, scale it back. Maybe shoot an alarm off for 10 minutes, do social media for 10 minutes, and then call it quits. I always say, if something like so major is going on, or something it's like such juicy gossip, right? You're going to get it anyways. Someone's going to call you, someone's going to text you, someone's going to say there's something. Also, the algorithms are really good. You'll probably see it later. So don't let social media get in the way of these big, audacious goals that we've put in the chat already today. The other one that's kind of related to this is news, right? News is a lot harder to measure than social media. How much time are we spending on news? So you might want to think, maybe I just cut news out for 15 minutes. News takes a lot of our time because we consume the news. That's one part of it. But then guess what? We talk about the news. We debate the news. Hell, we might even get into a Twitter war with somebody about the news, right? So just kind of check yourself around how much time are you actually like working with and doing your time with the news, right? And I'm not to get political. We do have an election coming up in November. So maybe you could save 15 minutes here, just around elections coming up, just saying. Okay. The next thing I want to mention is just thinking about what's distracting you. Really pay attention to what's distracting you. There's a study done at University of California, Irvine. They found that when you're distracted, it takes you 25 minutes to get back to where you were. So I'm just going to check Facebook for 30 seconds. It's really 25 minutes and 30 seconds to get to that same spot in your work. So those are those kind of little distractions to pay attention to. They are sucking the time like right out of your day, right? So do some stuff to be proactive in this space. Noise canceling, headphones work really well, closing your door, turning off notifications, closing your email for a little bit. I want to make sure you've got deep focus time. This 15 minutes that we're using really should be for deep focus time that we are really, really going to do the work. And one more place to look for 15 minutes. You could be wasting a lot of time multitasking, context switching. Like, I promise you, you're wasting 15 minutes somewhere in the day doing this. So context switching is when you are switching between different types of tasks. When you do that, they take you more time to complete and you're more likely to make mistakes. So when we switch from screen to paper, our brains actually need to rewire. So I want you to think about how can you be more efficient? Batching your work, doing similar work at the same time. Maybe it's paying all the bills in one session and doing all the proposals in the next section. When you do that one thing at a time, you're going to make fewer errors, you're going to pay more attention to detail, and you are going to get work done faster. So step one is to outline that plan. Step two, find that 15 minutes. Like I promise you, I gave you a ton of hints right there where to look.
You did. And I can tell you that 2 weeks ago, I turned off my notifications and I turned the volume off on my computer. Different world when that email, and I don't let the email pop up on my screen because I'm like a lunatic. I'm like, email, and then sometimes in the extreme version, if I really am focusing, I don't keep my cell phone near me. I keep it in another room. Even if I have it on not vibrate or so, it still lights up. I still see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm still like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
But if it's not there and I don't peripherally see it, I focus. So that has definitely saved me time. And so I'm glad that it's being echoed here. So okay, last step here, and then there's actually a question for you about finding digital organizational structures, but maybe that's a separate
Oh,
offline thing.
yeah.
um
I'll put my email in the chat. There's we can talk for
okay,
hours about that. Yeah.
yes, we can talk with hours with you, but you've pretty much got us back on track here. So the
I'll hang out
last
after.
the last step of the plan is step 3, which is work from the plan that you've just created. So go.
Yeah. So we've got our plan, we've got our 15 minutes. When it's time to work, don't overcomplicate this, right? You've outlined the plan, you know what you need to do. Don't get distracted now by other projects, right? This isn't potentially forever, but right now, coming out of today, this is the plan. We're going to work from this plan. That's our mission. We're going to get this plan accomplished. When you know the goal, right? The goals on the plan, you can target it and you can work with intention. I'm going to say that one more time. When you know the goal, you can target it and work with intention. That is the whole point of this session today. And I work with a lot of clients who struggle with the plan, right? Because they're chasing something shiny, new, interesting, this new opportunity, this new proposal came in, it's a really big print run. We want to have a look at that. Amazing things, right? For this 15 minutes of the day, stick to the plan, right? We're always starting something new. We're not finishing stuff. We're adding it to the list. We're never checking it off. That's what's leaving us feeling defeated at the end of the day, like we didn't get the right things done. So this is a gift, right? Implement this plan, stick with it, get the plan done. And once you've completed your plan, move on to something else. But for right now, the next couple days, weeks here, this is a really big priority because today was a gift. Like I know how much awesome stuff happened today. This is an absolute gift.
I mean, you're just absolutely incredible. And I know that you had sent me some information that you want to make an offer for people. And by the way, everyone's like, "What is your damn email, Sarah?" In the chat. But I apologize because I'm in a remote location. My email's not like unless I save my ports, change my ports, it's not coming through. So I'm hoping that you have that information about the opportunity to work with you handy that you shared with me. You can share
Yeah,
with everybody.
definitely. So any questions, I just put my email in the chat. You can do that. I also I do one-on-one coaching with people. I also have a digital course. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing my LinkedIn. Please connect with me. I do have a digital course, right? It's a 7-week course. It teaches my entire productivity system. So we do have a discount code for the Friends of Deborah, which is tips in 20. So tips in 20, I'll put that in the chat as well. It's $100 off my digital course. So wanted to share that with everybody today.
And obviously, the easiest way to get some amazingly quick information from Sarah is just to subscribe or find podcasts from the Printerverse wherever you listen to podcast, or go over to printmediacenter.com and click on the podcast and look at the show called Tips in 20. And we have a awesome series going, which I'm assuming we're going to continue into next year, although I
I
didn't,
love it.
yay, I
It's my
didn't last
favorite
year.
thing to do every month.
Oh my God, it's so exciting. And people are asking about Asana and other tools, and everyone's saying they need a bit of you in my life, in their lives. And that is actually the reaction I had when I first met Sarah. It was actually at a Direct Mail 2.0 event where she was doing a keynote speech, and it was in 2021. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah. 21.
21. And it was right about the time that the world was starting to spring back into action. And I was like, oh God, like I have nothing. I don't know how to manage this. I'm on Zoom meetings. I start my second shift at 5 o'clock at night, which I still do. We still have to work on that. But everything you said resonated with me in such a practical way. And what I realized is exactly what you say. I command the chaos. I do it. It's not happening to me. I am allowing it. And I can be big and bold and take ownership of my time, and take ownership of the meetings I have, and take ownership of when people can talk to me and when they can't. It doesn't make me a bad person. There's always exceptions, as we always know, but there's no way to command the chaos if all we're doing is fielding everything that comes at us. And then, as you said, there are still some days I revert back to bad behavior. I look at my to-do list, which is now on my screen, not a piece of paper, and I'm like, I don't know what I did today because I did nothing that I wanted to do today. So I just want to, if you just have some final words for everybody, and then we will wrap it up.
Yeah, the big takeaway, and I really thought about what do I name my course, right? And really wrestled with a bunch of ideas. I landed on Command the Chaos, because chaos isn't going anywhere. I got to say, especially in your industry, right? I know your industry well. It's chaos pretty much every day. Somebody needs something. There's a paper shortage. We need this immediately. Like it's fires all the time, right? Chaos isn't going to go anywhere. You have to know how to command it, how to take control. So that's kind of what we landed on the course name. The thing I want to leave you with is that progress creates momentum. And so this is about being better. This isn't about being perfect. This isn't being every day I get everything done that I set out to do. Hell, I don't get everything right every day either. I'm not a perfect productivity princess myself. Stuff's going to go wrong, but that progress, that movement towards, I worked on my plan, I got something done towards a greater goal today, like that is really powerful. So I really hope that you will let that motivate you going forward. And then the other big takeaway I want to make sure I share is to get this stuff on your calendar. We often just say, I'll do it tomorrow because tomorrow morning looks kind of open. Tomorrow morning is going to get blown up by 8 a.m. So having this stuff on your calendar, like find those 15 minutes and lock it in, put it on your calendar and hold that time sacred so you're not letting anybody else disrupt that time. But I'm excited for you all. Like be big, bold, make good choices in these 15 minutes. I love it.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for everything. If you could just turn off your video and your mic and go see your fans in the chat. I'm just going to wrap up the event, but it's just been an amazing day. Thank you so much to everybody who attended. My apologies to the people who tried to get in when there were more than 100 people in the Zoom. That was my error in how I set up the meeting. My apologies for that. Thank you so much to all of our speakers who gave their time today and shared their big and bold ideas for helping us become big and bold in ourselves and our companies and our industry. Thank you so much to our sponsors, and I implore you to support the companies that support Girls Who Print: Canon Solutions America, Domtar Paper, High Note, which is a printer. So if you're a customer out there, check them out. Kanaka Minolta US, Print IQ, Snowball Marketing, which is also someone who can help you with your marketing and printing needs, and Zycon, and of course to Rico USA Graphic Communications, who hosted me today in their beautiful customer experience and executive business briefing center, and who's hosting a Girls Who Print event tonight. Follow me and Girls Who Print on social media. I will definitely be sharing. Don't forget to sign up for our free mentorship program at Girls Who Print, which means you also must connect with Kelly Malazzi, girl number 2 at Girls Who Print, who runs the program. And there wouldn't be a Girls Who Print growing at the rate it is and having the influence as it is now, coming to light in the industry without her support and her partnership. So Kelly, as always, thank you for everything that you do to help me and help the women in print. And uh, again, if we are always looking for support, we now have a global movement going. So please reach out to me if you want to sponsor Girls Who Print and all of our endeavors. As I mentioned, it's only $1,500. You can pay it off. We don't care, but we just really, need some support because everything is free and we are definitely keeping it that way. And my last thank you is honestly to everybody who showed up today and all of you out there watching the replays. That is how we get things done when we come together as a community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for your time and attention today. Until next time, print long, empower long, and prosper, everybody. Bye.